Started. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Girl. I was looking real greasy. I was looking like I was getting ready for my first grade pictures. I was real greasy in the picture. So, what is going on, everybody? We are down here to talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I'm gonna see how long this is gonna take me to do it, but we are gonna get through it. So, they're still on the yacht. It's still the below deck Salt Lake City or Real Housewives crossover to make sure this is on. Okay. And so it starts off, they everybody went to sleep the night before, and then they pan and show the outside deck. They show everybody cleaning up and everything. And Bronwyn is asleep on the deck, so she fell asleep outside. She basically said she'd rather sleep on the deck. It was a better she said it was a better sleeping situation than sleeping with Brittany. Her and Brittany are rooming together. I couldn't room with her. I would be like, I'm sleeping. I would sleep inside. Just sleep inside on one of the couches. There's like so many like living spaces on the yacht. She could have. I feel like that was a little dramatic that she slept outside. She could have slept again. There's so many like lounge areas on the yacht that she could have definitely just curled up on one of those sofas, or love seat, or I don't know, something. But there's something inside. She didn't have to be outside. Um, so as she's sitting there, she asked Daisy for water and a Dr. Pepper. And so when Daisy goes, she's sitting there and she can hear Brittany and Lisa right beneath her talking about her, and how Brittany told Lisa that she wanted her to contact the parents, the grandparents. I don't understand Bronwyn. I gotta watch Bronwyn. Um, so then, oh, she was talking about how she was mad at Heather, or didn't feel right about Heather, because Heather was basically trying to get her to admit to something that she didn't do, and she didn't feel that that was right, because Heather told her, just admit it. She was like, girl, what? I did not do that. Admit what? What am I admitting? I didn't do anything. Do I need that light? Is the lighting good? I think it is. I think it's fine. So then they get ready to sit down for breakfast. Angie K comes out. She's saying she's feeling much better. Everybody's sitting at the table. Um, Everybody's just looking like, girl, what's going on? Um, Brittany tells Bronwyn, you could stay in my room. Bronwyn says, no, thank you, because from what I heard, I don't want to stay in the bed that you probably had one of the crew members in. And she was like, no, like, denying it or whatever. But then they clipped and showed Jason going into her room, and she was acting like something was wrong with the air or the heat or something. She was acting like. Um, she says, "Oh, I thought this was kind of mean." Lisa is mean because she goes, "Those are not true. There's no basis in her, even the crew member being, even Captain Jason being attracted to her." And then Daisy goes to the captain and was like, "They were talking about how you were attracted to Brittany or whatever. You're not attracted to her, are you?" And I don't think they played his answer. I really don't think they played his answer. Anyways, as they're sitting at the table and they're talking about, we don't make stuff up. Don't make stuff up about people. This is Lisa. We don't make stuff. Lisa always positions herself as being a good friend, but then her actions prove that she's not such a great friend. And so when she says that, Angie goes, ah, Angie, she'll do, she says, um, well, you tried to start a rumor that Todd was making out with one of your friends while farting the entire time. When I tell you, Mary was appalled. Mary was like, if someone told my husband I was making out with someone and farting, I don't know which one I'd be more devastated about. She was like, because what in the hell? Can you imagine how embarrassing? And not only that, you're saying that my husband is cheating on me, but then you're saying he's like this. ogre. Like he's farting and making out with somebody at the same time. Like, Lisa, shut up. Lisa tells Bronwyn tells Lisa, "Fuck you. You're dead to me. You're dead to me." Honey, let me tell you something. I understand wanting to take up for your man and tell your homegirl that you knew before him, you're dead to me. Right? But when it's all said and done, because I feel like Bronwyn is on her way out of this marriage. I feel like when you're in a marriage and the person, your partner, is um not nice or whatever the issues are, you don't see it until you actually watch the television and see your relationship, and then you're like, girl, who is that? Is that me? Am I acting like that? Like, then you're like wanting to correct it because you're like, girl, what in the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I acting like that? And I think that's the one good thing about reality TV is that you can you can watch yourself, and then how I say, like, watch the reel of your life or a relationship that you were in. Watch the reel of it, and then you can go back and account for how you were responsible for some of the things that happened in the relationship. All right, so then Lisa and Meredith go off to have a small talk about Lisa's support, and Meredith is like, I don't understand why everybody is so concerned with how I support you. And later she tells her, I'm going to support you when you're right. And I feel like me myself, if me and my friend are sitting there and she's out of order, again, it depends on the circumstances and the severity of what is happening for me to publicly say something to her. I may not say anything. Like, you would rather me not say anything, especially if you're wrong. Let me just be quiet because I'm gonna tell you how wrong you are later. Girl, what the fuck was wrong with you? Why was you saying stuff like that to her? That was so dumb. Like, I'm gonna say it. You just gonna get mad or whatever, but um I'm with Meredith. I'm sorry. I'm not going to support you if you're wrong. I'm not. And she was like, I need a little help. I mean, come on. Sometimes I just need a little help. You don't need no help. You're fine, girl. You're starting the rumors. You're leaking information. You over there with Tamra and Lisa Rinna and all the girls that leak information to the blogs or start some weird, crazy rumor. Phaedra used to do that. She worked with the power of suggesting something and then twisting her face like you just saw Samara come out of the ring and act like she don't know what's going on. She used to do that. The power of suggestion and then just like throwing something out there. Lisa does that, a la Phaedra Parks, Shadra, Fraudra Parks. Um, they go out. They're gonna have a little, on below deck. They take them out and they do stuff with them on shore. So they have like games. They'll have like a spread, of course, and they'll do stuff and play games and just hang out on the beach. Just get out. When they got off the what do you call the thing? What do you call the thing that goes back and forth? The tender. I think it's called the tender. It's something where they go with that little boat that they take back and forth from the yacht to shore. I think it's the tender. And when they got off, Angie kissed the sand because she was like, "Girl," she was feeling sick about like having nausea and everything. So she has some bracelets on her arm now to help her with her nausea. So far, she says she feels fine. And so while they were out there, they first tried to play Never Have I Ever. That didn't work. And then they played a drinking game where they were running like a relay drinking game. And then they go and sit down. And Mary tells Meredith, she goes, listen to Lisa. She's trying to tell you how she feels, right? Because Lisa brings it up again. Like, everybody comes and sits down while she's talking to Meredith, and she doesn't stop talking, which is, normal. And Mary goes, she's trying to tell you how she feels. You need to listen to how she feels. Like, whether you believe, this is something I have to tell my Aquarius, whether you believe what you did, like when somebody starts to tell you about, account for how you showed up in a particular situation, you can't say like, oh, I don't do that all the time, or that just happened. Like, don't make an excuse, just listen. and I have this quote on the wall in my bedroom that says, when your first reaction, I'm going to just paraphrase because I can't remember it, your first reaction to criticism should not be to defend, it should be to reflect, right? Like, you don't need to defend yourself, Meredith. Just be quiet, listen to Lisa and what she has to say. And Meredith was like, and Mary like interjected because she was kind of like telling her that, well, that's not true. You know how Meredith is. Well, it's, I mean, I'm just, and so Mary was like, you're not a good friend. I don't know what she was like, what do I need to do, Mary? Go do some cartwheels? And Mary's like, I don't care what you do. You can go jump in the ocean for all I care. And then Meredith is sitting there with her drink in her hand. She says, and you can go do something too, honey. I said, that's right. Girl, them arguing is the best thing ever. I love it. When I tell you I love Salt Lake City, it gives me everything I need to. She's like, I think you're boring. You need to go find a good story. You can tell because right now you're a snooze. And everybody has been saying that. Mary's just calling out what is so obvious, that Meredith should be a friend because she gives absolutely nothing. Even in the scene, and that's why it looks so crazy. And that's why Brittany says she'd be having seizures, because Meredith be calm, calm, calm. And then she'll just go, and then she'll go right to 100. There's no progression. Meredith she just goes, ah, so I don't know. Is she boring? Do y'all think Meredith is boring? I think, you know, Meredith, I do a lot of very interesting things. I'm just gonna leave, and she'll and she'll leave. I'm like, okay, Meredith. Um, then they go snorkeling. They get dressed up in costumes. Of course, Bronwyn has these blow up costumes, a lobster, I think a chicken and a shark she has. And then they're going to do a zombie themed party. And Heather says it's a themed zombie party because we love to dig up dirt on each other and we love to resurrect old fights from the grave. So they were all getting their makeup together and doing the blood. And you saw Meredith. She was like, oh, that was good, doing the little blood things and putting scissors in their head, which I thought I'm like, I would wear that as a regular headband with the scissors like coming out like that. I thought that was so cute. Did anybody else think that was cute? Even not for Halloween, just to wear. I thought it was cute. Anyways, okay, so they go snorkeling. They have the zombie party. Um, at the table, I want to kind of go back a little bit. At the table, Bronwyn was really, really mad. She was like, just stop talking about my fucking family. Stop talking about my daughter. Stop talking about her grandparents. Just stop talking. And then Lisa goes, well, I'll never mention them again. I'll never mention them again. Yeah, right. That's not going to happen. So after they get dressed in those inflatable costumes. So it's Bronwyn and Angie. They're getting in the inflatable costume. Angie can't get in it. So then when they were walking like through the sliding glass door, I don't know if Bronwyn slid the door and Angie's hand was bleeding. Like, you heard her, she was like, "Oh my god, I'm in so much pain." Her hand was bleeding. It's just a mess because she's dressed like, I don't know what she's dressed like, a chicken. I don't know what's going on, but Angie is a mess. She got blood on her hand and everything like that. So Angie's going through a lot on this damn trip, being sick to now you bleeding, girl. What is happening? So they go sit down at the dinner and they have on their zombie outfits. And Bronwyn basically tells Lisa again, my family is off limits. And she says, I'll never bring them up again. That's when she says that. Brittany acts like she's getting seasick or something like that, and she gets up and they show her throwing up on the side of the boat. And I think she was holding the glass. I was like, what is she holding in her hand? At first, I thought it was a phone. I was like, I know she's not recording herself throwing up. But then I saw when they went back to it, it was a glass. It looked like a glass. I was like, okay. So then when she comes back, she takes a shot of tequila, and Meredith goes, if you just threw up, why are you drinking tequila? She was like, so I can feel better. And then she says, I'm trying to feel better. And then Brittany, I think she asked her, are you a professional, or are you an expert at vomiting? Because remember when Brittany said she heard her crying and vomiting in the other room? So I was like, "Ooh, Brittany, you a bitch." And to me, like you have to watch a woman who is neglectful to her children. I don't think makes a good friend. So you have to kind of watch her because I don't know. I just don't trust that. And the way she be looking, I don't trust nobody who neglects their kids. I can't. So Brittany brings up this rumor that's on TikTok, girl. And I said one thing that they're going to have to do is stop bringing up rumors. Stop it. Y'all are going to have to. I think social media is so part of all of these shows now because they do a lot of the dirt on social media. So now when I see you after not filming, I want to bring up like you were talking about me. You did an interview on a podcast about me. Like what the fuck? Like what are you doing? And I don't know if they tell them because I don't think it's right for them not to speak when they're off season. I think they should continue to be friends and hang out and stuff like that. Because when you don't hang out when the cameras are down, I feel the friendship suffers. And I know maybe they want, I don't know. I don't know what the rule is. I would like to ask Andy that. Like, what is the rule? Like when they're not filming, because the way that they act like they haven't seen each other, they act like, what is going on in the blogs. They're going to wait to talk about it. So it's really crazy because it'll be something from a few months ago. And then by the time, okay, so it's something that happened a few months ago. They start filming and then they bring it up and then we don't see it until another 4 to 6 months later. And so everything is like, girl, that was like last year when that happened. You know what I'm saying? And we're like, girl, y'all arguing on something that happened last year, but they didn't get to talk about it because they waited till the season to talk about it. So I don't know the what they're told to do off season. If anybody knows, let me know. So Brittany brings up a TikTok rumor and says that what's his name? Seth. What's I about to call him? Seth, Meredith's husband, has a mistress, and basically the information came from an Uber driver. I was like, when I was listening, I was like, girl, shut up. And then Meredith says, you're just basically you're targeting me because your life is a disaster. Your relationship is a disaster. Um, Meredith in the confessional says, "Leave me alone. Leave my husband alone. Go focus on your own misery because you are a miserable bitch." When I tell you, I do not. I don't like Brittany. I don't. Even though I think she's like good, like we don't just because we don't like a particular character doesn't mean we need to kick them off. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's good for the dynamic of the show, but I don't like her character. Mm, okay. So then Bronwyn is still feeling isolated. You see Bronwyn at the point she's like in her room, and then there's like an audio of Todd in the background saying, "Don't come home to tell me that you and Lisa got into a fight. I don't want to hear it." And she was like, "Maybe he was right." Yeah, he was right because you have unresolved issues. And Lisa is going to keep going because Lisa, in her mind, she has to prove that she's better than everybody. She has to prove that you guys are lucky that I hang out with y'all. Because that's what she told him on the last episode. Sure did. Yeah, so Lisa was mad because, who tells their friend to admit something that they didn't do. And then they show a clip of Lisa and Heather on the little dock where all the fish, you could still see all the fish. It was when I tell you that shot is so beautiful. Lisa should really ask them to, even though she was on the phone in distress, talking to John, but that shot from above the deck on down to her, and you could see the reflection of all the fish just swimming around her while she's sitting on the dock. I thought it was a great shot. I'm not interested in sleeping in the bed you brought some crew into. Um, Todd was making out with one of my friends while farting the entire time. Um, Mary, when I tell you Mary is so funny, she was like, girl, she was like, I don't know which one I would be more devastated about, my husband making out with somebody, cheating on me, or him farting the entire time. She was like, cause girl, what? And I love that Mary, because typically Mary just sits there and she just watches everybody, right? And silently judging them. But this time she said something to Meredith. She was like, I'm sticking up for Lisa. Can you believe it? Like, girl, God help me. What am I doing? But it's true. Like, if Lisa doesn't feel supported, but I understand what Meredith is saying. I'm not going to support you when you're wrong. I'm not. I'm gonna sit there. You just let me be quiet. Let me look like I'm neutral and not say nothing. And then when we get together, that's the thing. That's a part that's missing with Meredith, is that she doesn't get together with Lisa in this particular circumstance and get together with her and be like, girl, you know that wasn't right. You know you shouldn't be talking to Bronwyn's daughter's grandparents. You know that. Like, but then that text message did say like something to the effect like you can talk to them. I don't know if she was like, you can ask them if you want to, I really don't care, but it seemed like she did ask her to it did seem like she asked her to like talk to them, and I was like, Bronwyn, your ass is crazy. Okay, let me see. Meredith says she does a lot of interesting things. Are you an expert at vomiting? So I don't know what's going to go on with but Bronwyn, but Angie was basically telling her on the beach as well, the way that you were stern with Lisa at that breakfast table, that's how you have to be. You have to let her know, I don't fucking play with me, bitch. Like, that's the thing that I'm talking about. Like, some of these women, they be trying you and trying you and trying you, and it's because you haven't gone off on them in a very proper way. Like, cuss they ass out, wear they ass out, back these bitches up off you. Period. Back her up off you. Every time she says something, come back at her. Let her have it. Let her have it. Lisa's always on the defense because she knows, everybody knows that she's the one, everybody knows she's the one leaking the information. She does acknowledge that the making out and the farting rumor was out of line and that she shouldn't have said that. Meredith, I don't know, Meredith. I don't know what needs to happen with you, girl. Brittany, she is an agitator. She very much is an agitator. And then she just sits there and she's like looking like this. Like, I don't like that lady. I don't like that lady. Any a woman who neglects her children, we not cool with. I didn't know her last name was Bateman. Mary, again, still the voice of reason. Go jump in the ocean. I think you're boring. And that was pretty much it of the episode. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is so good because you have conflict, you have the campiness of like, the things that they're doing and how unreasonable they are and how the yelling that they do to each other. It's like funny the way they fight. It's nothing real, like, saying your husband is cheating on you. Okay, girl, whatever. There's nothing really dark about what's happening on the show. Nothing real dark. All of the stuff is just rumors they're mostly talking about. And that's it. That's mostly what they're talking about is rumors. Rumors, 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 and who's spreading the rumors, who is, doing the stuff on the outside. And it is Lisa. I believe it's Lisa. I believe it's Lisa because Lisa is a person who needs to create a narrative. So, in order to control the narrative, Lisa is going to start leaking information. So, she can have like, okay, so if I leak information and it plays in the blogs, whether it's been verified or not, people are going to take that information, especially if they don't like Bronwyn. They're going to take that information and I'm trying to get this light ring out of the view, be higher. Yeah, some of the people are going to take it and believe it. So, you know, it is what it is. So overall, the episode was good. I think they got one more episode on the yacht, or they go like half of the episode is going to be them, and then they're going to leave. I think. I think that's it. I think it's a 3 episode. I haven't seen the below deck point of view. Is it up on Peacock? I haven't even looked over there. I'm watching Mediterranean right now with Captain Sandy. Anyways, so take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Let me know what you think of the episode. Like I said, it's good to just talk about a show where we're not talking about like dark stuff like racism. And so just keep it lighthearted and kooky. You know what I'm saying? That's like the unseriousness about about what's going on around them, even the way they fight. It's just everything is really funny to me. It's real funny, and they're all doing a really good job. They came to work. I'm telling you. I wonder, do they give Emmys to real to the? I know they give reality show Emmys, but has Housewives ever been? I can't imagine. I can't imagine. I'm trying. I don't want y'all to see me getting my nose together, girl, because y'all will be like, "Ooh, there's something in her nose. Get it out." Anyways, y'all, I gotta go. So take care of each other, protect your energy, and we'll get down in the comments and finish talking about this crazy mess. Girl, Mary said, "I don't know which one I'd be more devastated about." That was so funny to me. Anyways, take care of each other, protect your energy. Peace.